That's rmanswers.com.
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM.
And now back to more of Insight on Disability on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Welcome back to Insight on Disability. Follow us on Facebook for up-to-date information on what is happening with Insight on Disability. Just search for Insight on Disability from your homepage. To follow us on Twitter, just search at Insight_radio. If you would like to join us this evening, give us a call at 410-922-6680. Once again, that's 410-922-6680.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. All right, we are back, and we are talking about the blind industries and services of Maryland this evening. We've got three great guests in here tonight, three folks that are working over there at BISM. To my left here is the lovely Melissa Lomax. How are you doing tonight, my dear?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
And it's good to have you in. To Melissa's left is Miss Nikki Jackson. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. Thank you for coming in as well.
Thank you.
And to her left, the other male in the room here. You and I are quite outnumbered here tonight, my friend.
Yeah, you're right about that.
you were cracking me up earlier tonight. So. This is Mr. Thomas Cole, and he works over in the production section of BISM. And how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm fine.
Great. Thank you
Glad to be here.
Good. Thank you for coming in as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, real quickly, all three of you are blind, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you totally blind, or are you visually impaired, or?
I like to say that I have enough vision to get me in trouble, but not enough to get me out. So
that's my line right there. That's when people ask me if I know how to speak Spanish. I say just enough to get my face slapped. You know.
That's right.
So all right. And Melissa, how long have you been here in town? You're from out of state, right?
I am. I'm from New Jersey.
You're from Jersey?
Yes.
Which exit?
Exit 11. Exit 11.
That's awesome. That is totally awesome. So, but no, you and I met through the NFB down here in Baltimore.
We did. In fact, we met my freshman year of college. So I've been out here since 2009.
Wow, has it been that long?
It has. It doesn't feel that way, but
no, it doesn't. Not at all. I remember. I think I met you at one of the meetings. But you are the manager of the youth rehab program down in BISM, right?
Yes.
And Nikki, you are in charge of the adult, or is it adult, or is it called core?
The core program, yes.
Okay, we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. And like I said, Thomas, you're over in the production area, and it's really fascinating. I love to tell people that I think of BISM as like a pearl, because if you look at it's just a pearl in the middle of an oyster, because when it comes to blind services, not only in Maryland but in a lot of places, it can get kind of sandy and kind of gritty inside that shell, but BISM kind of stands out like that pearl that you find in the oyster. You guys do some fantastic things down there, and I was really impressed when I took a tour. I guess it was back the beginning of the year. I went down, and one of your fellow employees took me for a tour around, and I'd always considered BISM to be just like, it's just another one of those places where blind people work, and they maybe take them in, teach them a couple of classes, and put you out on the street. But it's far from that. And Melissa, if you can, let's talk a little bit about what you do. I mean, you've got a whole big program that is geared towards the youth who are coming in. Now, most of the people that you deal with are people who are coming in who are newly blind or visually impaired or have never had any kind of training, right?
It all depends on the situation, but we do take students from middle school and from high school, and we give them independence, skills development. We give them chances to become more confident, and sometimes they've gone to a school for the blind their whole life, and other times they just lost their vision. But either way, they are getting the experiences that they need in order to become more confident and to live independent lives when they're older.
Yeah, and it's so important to actually instill that kind of confidence at an early age.
It is.
What kind of programs are there? I mean, from what I saw when I was down there, if somebody's coming in and let's say somebody is absolutely just completely lost their sight and they're starting from scratch, what can you provide for somebody in that particular youth program?
Well, for middle school and for high school, it's a lot of the same things. A big component to vision loss is the social aspect. So a lot of them who just lost their vision don't know how to make friends or are scared to tell other people that they can't see and they need different accommodations. So we get them comfortable with being blind. That's number one. If they're comfortable with what's going on, then they're able to then relax and let other people know it's a part of me. It's just a nuisance, but it's not stopping me from whatever I want to do, and it's definitely not stopping me from being your friend. And that's a big aspect of growing up, especially in elementary, middle, and high school. So we work on that in the summer.
How do you instill that confidence?
Oh, man, through a lot of activities. We get them to get out of their comfort zone. We take them to trampoline parks, to rock climbing, zip lining, and water parks. And we take them to Orlando, Florida, the high school students. And it is fun. It is fun. But there's an agenda behind it. If they can get across a zip line, if they can climb a rock wall without using their vision, they can do anything. And that translates to their independence outside of the activities, whether it's traveling, cooking, or using Braille, which we also teach. They're then becoming more comfortable with being blind and more confident.
Do you ever use Eric Weinmeier as an example of when that name comes to mind? When you start talking about rock climbing and that kind of thing, I mean, that's his life.
It is, and we're so blessed to have Maurice Perret with us as well.
Okay, yeah, right, yeah, you know Maurice, right?
He's also at Blind Industries, so he was also there, and he's gotten a lot of experience with Eric Weinmeier, and he's also been on a climb with him.
Yeah, and I'm hopefully going to be going out this summer to do some climbing with Eric as well. That's what I'm working on that now with him. But getting back to some of the programs, so you actually have a whole living area down there. So I mean, you teach people how to cook. I mean, I've seen you've got, I think it was 2 kitchens down there.
That's
correct?
True. And we also, our programs, my staff are actually here right now. They're coming from all across the country to teach these students. And we're staying on the University of Maryland, Baltimore County campus, and we have apartments there. And they're able to travel into BISM and take classes, but they're getting that same experience at home in the evenings as well. Oh,
so I mean, it's just the training or life imitating the training and vice versa there.
Yeah. We really make sure that they experience as much as they can.
Okay, and Nikki, how does your program differ from what Melissa's doing here?
So our program, or the program that I work for, is the CORE program, which stands for Comprehensive Orientation, Rehabilitation, and Empowerment. And it's basically the same program, but on a bigger scale. It's a longer program, 9 to 11 months, and much more intense. And as opposed to serving youth, we serve adults ages 18 to 55. And so we're working with students on building skills in the areas of orientation and mobility, which is cane travel, Braille, independent living, and technology, and also a confidence building class which is woodshop and job readiness to get them ready for the work world. And so our program, it's much more intense. Students are there a lot longer. It's also residential, where our students stay in the downtown Baltimore area. And they're participating in different confidence-building activities in conjunction with going to class. So students have done everything from whitewater rafting to participating in the Baltimore Running Festival to participating in the Street Smarts Driving Academy. So our students got a chance to drive. That was really cool. We're doing things like traveling to the National Convention of the National Federation of the Blind every year. We just participated in a 6K run for the National Federation of the Blind.
Oh, the 6-dot dash?
Yeah, and that was really, really cool. Especially we had a new student who had started and did not think he could do something like that. And when he finished, I mean, he was worn out, but it was just this confidence in him that wasn't there before. And so our program is very similar to youth, except that it's just a little more intense and it's a little bit longer.
And for Melissa, and this question is for both of you, and Melissa and Nikki, I mean, you've got to be just fascinated or amazed when you see someone like you were just talking about just get that confidence and it just clicks for them. Isn't how does that make you feel? I mean, what do you do at that point when you see that light switch go on to show that confidence?
It's definitely a moment where you just kind of sit back and you're like, wow, this person has reached a point, or they understand that life doesn't end with blindness, that actually life, can continue to be productive. And I mean, the unique thing about these programs, both the core and the youth program, is that the instructors and the people who work in these programs, they have gone through what the students have gone through. We've all been through training. So it's just really cool to see, like, wow, we were in that position at one time, and we can actually relate to our students when they have to go through the struggles, but then see the light at the end of the tunnel. No pun intended. But, just to reach that point where they're like, yeah, I'm blind, but it's a nuisance. It's just a physical characteristic, and I can continue to live my life the same way that I did, before vision loss. So.
Right. What about you, Melissa?
I couldn't have said it any better. Exactly what Nikki said.
Okay, real quickly before we go to commercials, on the line with us here on line one is Paul from Timonium Towson. And Paul, is this Lion Paul?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I have
How
a
you doing,
question. I have an announcement I'd like to say. What is the difference in the programs and the philosophy between BISM and DORS?
Well, there is no the DORS is actually what funds our adult program and our youth programs as well, and we have a great relationship. But as far as what are you saying as far as philosophy goes? Well,
philosophy, the way you prepare blind folks for the working world, especially those who just lost their sight. Now, I've been total for over 60 years, so anyway, if I can give my announcement here, later on this week. This Friday, in fact, we're going to have for those who are listening from Lions District 22A, we're going to have the turnover of district officers, and it's going to run from 6 to 9. And if you see me at the gatherings Friday night, I would appreciate if those of you heard me.
Okay, Paul. All right, thank you very much. We'll talk with you later.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks. All right, yeah. Paul is he and his brother. You might know his brother Lou. His brother Lou Smith works over.
Oh,
at Doors.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's Paul's brother. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of different philosophies on the way that training blind people, goes. I mean, Amanda has done some travel training before, and when we come back after commercials. I want to introduce Thomas and talk a little bit about production, but I also want to get into talking a little bit about O&M and what it is and what it's all about and how it's presented to the students down there. It is an integral part of being blind and being able to get around. I mean, it's almost I think it's one of the most important things that you really need to learn if you are blind or visually impaired. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. We are talking with Melissa, Nikki, and Thomas from Blind Industries and Services of Maryland. And when we come back, we're going to head over into the production side of the house and talk with Thomas and what he does over there. So go ahead, Amanda, take us on out, and then we'll be right back.
The 2016 Summer Paralympics will be held in Rio de Janeiro from September 7th to September 18th. We will have full coverage of the games, and we will keep a close eye on our local favorites as they try and bring home the gold. We'll have more information as the games get closer. We'll be right back with more Insight on Disability right after this.
Seasonal feel to the finish to the weekend as far as the temperatures are concerned, and the same to start the work week. Mostly clear. We'll drop back to around 60. Sunshine on Monday. We'll get up to around 80. Might work in a stray shower late for our Monday night, and we hold on to a chance for those stray showers on Tuesday. Jeff Eno from the Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Folks, I want to talk to you about Sergio's Fine Jewelers of Ellicott City. I've known Sergio now for almost 30 years, and I trust the guy like he was one of my brothers. Any of my close friends, my mom, my sister, any of my family, anytime they need a piece of jewelry, I send them out to Sergio. If you have a design for a piece of jewelry and you can't find it anywhere, Sergio specializes in custom-made jewelry, and he'll make it for you, and you will be so impressed with the work that he does. You have a piece of jewelry that needs to be repaired, take it out to one of his fine staff, and they will fix it for you, and more than likely you'll be wearing it within 24 hours. You have something that you don't wear anymore, any gold, silver, antiques, any kind of gems, take them to Sergio, and he's going to give you the best value that you can find anywhere for what you're bringing in. Folks, if you're like me, you want someone that you can trust when it comes to making a big purchase like jewelry. And I trust Sergio, and I wouldn't send you to him if I didn't believe in him. Visit him in the Bethany Lane Shopping Center in Ellicott City, or give him a call at 410-461-4400. You can also visit him on the web at www.sergiosjewelers.com. And if you tell him that I sent you, he's going to treat you like one of the family.
My name is Tammy Holoval. I'm a proud athlete for Special Olympics Maryland for the past 19 years. Being a Special Olympics athlete has changed my life. Special Olympics can change yours too. Special Olympics would not exist or would not have been created without the time, love, support, and energy and commitment of all the volunteers. They take their time to not only come out and support us, but get to know us. No matter what your interests or talents, there are opportunities for you to make an impact. Please go to somd.org to learn more about how you can volunteer.
My good friends, if you own land, you know it's a true blessing, a blessing that comes with a great responsibility. And that's something my good friends at Mahindra Tractors understand. So Mahindra wants to help you be the best steward of the land you care for with workhorse tractors built to help you work smarter, not harder. Imagine how much faster you'll finish projects with a Mahindra tractor that can push more, that can pull more, and lift more than the other guys. And every single Mahindra tractor is backed by a 5-year powertrain warranty. Mahindra also wants to help take a load off your budget by giving you zero down, zero payments, zero interest till 2017. So I invite you to learn more about the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, at MahindraUSA.com.
Take advantage of rock-bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at Security Equipment in Baltimore, or visit SecurityFNH.com. That's SecurityFNH.com.
NASCAR fans, listen for the Pit Road NASCAR Preview Fridays on WCBM at 5:50 a.m. featuring this weekend's big Spring Cup Series race, brought to you by Riverside Marine in Essex. Fantastic deals on new and used boats. Visit riversidemarine.com.
And now back to more of Insight on Disability on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Welcome back to Insight on Disability. If you're ready for a unique nightclub experience, then look no further than Club 1111. Club 1111 is the first nightclub for people with disabilities in the country, and it's right here in Baltimore. Come join your friends at Club 1111 and get your groove on with live DJs and 2 huge dance clubs. Have some fun in the game room, relax in the spa room, or cool yourself off with something from the world-famous Mocktail Lounge. Club 1111 will be rocking again on June 25th, 2016, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the League for People with Disabilities, located at 1111 East Cold Spring Lane. For more information about upcoming Club 1111 dates, volunteer opportunities, or how to purchase tickets, please visit www.club1111.org.
All right, thank you very much. And we are back, and now we want to go over, besides having the rehabilitation programs and the adult program, and there's also a seniors program down there that we've talked about before on the show, there is a whole section where Thomas works, which is production, and that's a really fascinating area. Now, what exactly do you do there, Thomas?
Well, I've been there for 27 years.
You can get a little bit closer to that mic there, buddy.
And I'm a machine operator there now. That's what that wasn't where I started, but that's what I do now.
What kind of machine? What kind of machine do you operate?
Polar operator, cutting paper products and easel pad, notebook paper, anything to do with paper.
So you're operating this big machine that cuts paper.
Yes, it's a big machine, 45-inch razor sharp blade, but it's safe. You don't have to see to do it.
I was gonna say, do you have people saying, "Well, you can't see. Why would you even want to? Why would you even try that?"
Well, the machine is safe. It has safety features. I have all of my limbs, and I've still been doing it for a while now.
Well,
thank goodness.
No, I mean, I was just playing devil's advocate there because I'm sure those kind of questions come up from time to time. And you see, and that's what I think is so positive about what BISM does. I mean, like you said, you've been there 27 years, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been back there through that production area, and it's amazing what you guys do. I was really impressed with the work. And a lot of the products that you put out are a lot of that's government contract work, isn't it?
Yes. You have paper products. You have another department has chemicals and cleaning supplies. You have stuff they do in spreading, which handles the Army uniforms and that type of stuff, cutting the patterns for the Army uniforms. You have a water department. There's so many things that they do. Repackaging for other companies. You know how you see like something in Giants where it's 2 for a certain price.
Right.
They get a lot of stuff from other companies that they pre-package, and they do a lot of work. I've been there a long time. I've seen BISM change and develop. They have benefits, they have bonuses, they have like Christmas bonuses, they have rewards, profit sharing, retirement plans. It's a chance for you to test your skills and see what you want. If you don't want to sit home, you want to work, apply for the job. They don't hold it against you that you're visually impaired. And at Blind Industries, I've seen people in every department, no matter from accounting to customer service, where they hire blind employees. It's a place of opportunity. I wouldn't always say that when I first started, but I've been there long enough to see a lot of changes.
Yeah, I've heard that from some other people as well. Now, did you actually go through a program similar to what Melissa and Nikki have been talking about?
Yes, I've been blind all my life. I was a former student of Maryland School for the Blind. I went through the old Doors program, and I also went through the rehab program at Blind Industries. It's a whole lot different now than it was then.
So what's the difference then? When
they didn't have as many opportunities. I didn't go to it as a youth. I was an adult, and I'll pass on the water sports and rock climbing. I ain't but
you'd have to ask your other half if you could do it anyway.
Yeah. Plus, they don't tell my wife, but they got a lot of pretty people working back there, young ladies. That's a nice group back there. I know a few of them. One thing Blind Industry does that's unusual, as an employee, I still had the opportunity to go, and part of the work time, they still paid you, go into rehab, learn more about computer skills. If you need cane travel, even as an employee, they'll teach you cane travel, learn how to use the program JAWS. I had training with a really nice young lady, Paige Tremel, back there. And you know, it's a lot of opportunities. You just got to take advantage of it.
So basically, while you were working, they allowed you to actually go and better your skills and enhance the skills that you had, so that you could even go farther.
Yes, yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
If someone's interested in employment opportunities, how would they go about that?
You would just call, Blind Industries, and ask for the Human Resources Department, put in an application, come there for a tour, and they will help you along. And when they have an opening, they'll call you. They'll call you. You don't have to have any training. You just have to have a willing spirit.
So, and do you have the phone number there?
Yes, the number is 410-737-2600.
And that's the main number. And which reminds me, I've got to ask this right now before I forget. Ruth is adorable. The lady who answers the phone there.
Yeah.
It's the way that she answers the phone. I've never heard anyone answer the phone quite like that ever in my life. But it kind of gets you, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, Ruth is something else. So she's been there a long time. She's a nice person, and she'll do anything for you.
And yeah, and Melissa and Nikki, I mean you know Ruth, and for those of you who haven't called Blind Industries and Services of Maryland before, when you call down there, Ruth will answer the phone and go, Blind Industries and Services of Maryland, how can I get you to smile today? And I mean, how can you not like that? I mean, I don't know how she came up with that. I don't know where she came up with it, but if it just kind of catches you off guard, and what can you do?
Well, when I talk to her, when I call and she says it, I tell her, let's trade paychecks.
I always, what does she say to that?
Forget it.
That's funny. All right, so I want to switch back over to Nikki and Melissa for 1 second. We were talking before the commercials about O&M, which is orientation and mobility. And how critical is that to someone who is blind, getting into that kind of training?
It is super important. I mean, all of the classes are important. All of the skills are important. But being able to get from point A to point B is essential. And to be able to do that confidently and independently and safely is even more important.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing there is the safety issue.
Yeah. We teach our students, we use the structured discovery philosophy. So when you come through our program, we utilize the sleep shades. And so
so what are sleep shades?
Oh, so sleep shades are, they are, the best way I can describe them, they're like these masks, and you actually put them over your eyes. You wear them over your eyes, so they block out any light
So even if anybody has any kind of light perception or any kind of vision, so you're basically evening the playing ground for everybody.
That's correct, but I hate that saying of evening the playing ground, because I want to get out of that. We want students to get out of that hierarchy, that the more sight, the better. So what we say is we want to teach people that they can do this non-visually, as opposed to saying evening the playing ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
I would say one of our coworkers, Maurice, he said it in a great way. He was talking about how our training is immersion. It's if you want to learn another language, the best thing you can do is go to that country, a country that speaks that language. Mm-hmm. And so what we do is we wear the sleep shades so that if you want to learn non-visual skills, if you want to, even with your vision, the vision that you have left, to be able to read your mail or use the computer without straining your eyes, the best way to do it is to rely on just non-visual skills.
Yeah, and there's so much technology out there that, from when I was growing up, and Thomas, you said you've been around for 27 years or so. I mean,
yes.
You think back, I mean, even 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the technology wasn't there that is here today. For blind students and even adults, and so I mean it's the technology is making life for people with disabilities so much easier today.
Yeah, one of the things that they try to stay caught up to rehab with technology. They'll even teach you, like the new thing is the iPhone. They'll even have iPhone classes, to teach you all the latest and to keep up with the technology. That is which I had to get some help with mine. I'm telling you.
Right. Now, do all three of y'all, I'm sure all three of you know how to use Braille?
Yes.
What about, there's a big change now in Braille and the
Yes.
fact that everything's going from the Braille that you used to have when the contracted Braille into what's now called unified Braille?
Yes.
What's the big difference between that?
So
the two?
the biggest difference is that when you're using this new unified Braille, now you are able to, when you're embossing them, a lot of the symbols that we used to use, like drop to D in the middle of words, which stands for a period as well, it makes it a little bit odd when you're coming to print things. So we're just making it easier to print and also more unified across other English-speaking countries as well.
So is it actually doing away with a lot of the contractions?
No, not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Like, for instance, one big thing is that in Braille, contractions are combinations, letter combinations that it's could be one letter or a series of dots that stand for letters or words. And one thing is that if you take some of that stuff out, it kind of gets annoying to have to write it out, but it's better in the long run for when it comes to printing computer Braille and embossing.
Okay. All right. On that note, we have to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more with Melissa, Nikki, and Thomas here from BISM, or Blind Industries and Services of Maryland. So go ahead, Amanda, take us on out, and we'll be right back.
The Maryland Department of Disabilities is hosting the 26th anniversary celebration of the ADA on July 26, 2016 at the National Federation of the Blind headquarters in downtown Baltimore. You are invited to take part in the festivities. For more information or to register, visit www.mdod.maryland.gov. We'll be right back with more insight on disability right after this.
My good friends, if you own land, you know it's a true blessing, a blessing that comes with a great responsibility. And that's something my good friends at Mahindra Tractors understand. So Mahindra wants to help you be the best steward of the land you care for with workhorse tractors built to help you work smarter, not harder. Imagine how much faster you'll finish projects with a Mahindra tractor that can push more, that can pull more, and lift more than the other guys. And every single Mahindra tractor is backed by a 5-year powertrain warranty. Mahindra also wants to help take a load off your budget by giving you 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest till 2017. So I invite you to learn more about the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, at MahindraUSA.com.
Take advantage of rock-bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at Security Equipment in Baltimore, or visit SecurityFNH.com. That's SecurityFNH.com.
Did you know that your digestive tract is at the core of your immune system? If you've been feeling tired and run down, or if you get frequent colds, you may want to check your gut. Probiotics in your intestinal tract play a role in fighting off infection and disease. Rescue Probiotic is different from other products out there. With 20 billion active cultures and 5 probiotic strains, it withstands stomach acids and goes straight to work restoring balance. Shop and save today at myrescueproducts.com. Plus, use the coupon code WCBM for your bonus free shipping on any order. Rescue supplements have been trusted for more than 30 years. Find out why. Shop myrescueproducts.com or call toll-free 1-800-26-ALIVE. That's 1-800-262-5483. And mention the code WCBM. Listen to your gut. Get Rescue Probiotic today. Shop online at myrescueproducts.com, myresqproducts.com, or call 1-800-26-ALIVE, 1-800-262-5483.
Hi, I'm Brian Scudamore from 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Goodbye, junk. Hello, relief.
Oh, you've heard the radio ads.
Please come in. We love those ads.
Thank you. All you have to do is point.
Well?
Oh, now I really do have to point.
The magic can't happen until you do.
Awesome.
It really works. Look.
Will it even work on... Unbelievable!
You point at junk, and it disappears.
This is the coolest thing ever.
Not everyone knows this, but our magic will follow you wherever you go.
We can point at work junk, and it will disappear?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. We work until midnight, 7 days a week.
So you never have to take off work to meet us.
Will it follow us to our new house when we move?
You'll glitter when you walk.
Will I glitter too?
You already do, ma'am.
1-800-GOTJUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
It's brand new and improved. easier to navigate and features more stories and news than ever before. WCBM.com should be part of your daily routine. Stream us from your PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone at WCBM.com. And now back to more of Insight on Disability on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Welcome back to Insight on Disability. If you are having trouble with mobility paratransit, you can reach out to the Consumers for Accessible Ride Services, or CARS, Committee at the Maryland Disability Law Center. Contact them at 410-727-6352 and tell them you would like to speak to someone at CARS, and they will help you with your problem.
Yeah, every time I hear mobility, my blood pressure rises. So, so we're back. We're back. We're talking with Melissa, Nikki, and Thomas from BISM. And the one thing that I was looking at on your website, BISM.org, you have the opportunity for people to actually purchase some of your products off of there, don't you, Melissa?
Yes.
And how does that work? So a lot of the things that we were just talking about with Thomas, they can go online and purchase bottled water.
Yeah, and they can even get custom labels.
Custom labels, as in like for address labels, that kind of thing.
They can get custom labels to go around the water. So for companies
or
events, yes.
Oh, cool. So if I wanted to do some give away bottles of water at an event, I could have like the Insight on Disability logo around a bottle of water?
You sure can.
Sweet. I like this.
I like that.
That's awesome. That's pretty neat. See, we can do a sip and
sip and paint.
Yeah. There you go.
That's really great. I didn't know that. So so a lot of those products can they also be purchased online too, Thomas? Like the janitorial products and
yes, they do have you can call and purchase, toilet paper, batteries and stuff, all kinds of stuff, wholesale, or at least as close to wholesale as they can get it. Yes, you can purchase a lot of stuff there.
All right,
plus, they have the department that sell watches and stuff for the blind.
Through like a Braille watch, those kind of things.
Yes. Yes.
Do they sell a lot of the technology also, like for like the Victor Streams and?
No, they don't do a lot of that. That department is not really that big as far as selling the technology stuff, but
just the basic, basic kind of Braille clocks, those kind of things.
Yes.
Okay. Also, before we get out of here, I want to make sure that we talk about the Possibilities Fair that's coming up as well. So when is that and what's involved with that? Nikki, you want to handle that one?
Sure. So the Possibilities Fair is basically this big fair with all these vendors dealing with blindness and things of that nature, and it's catered to seniors who are experiencing vision loss. And so it's a fun-filled day of information and entertainment and just getting out and being social and having a good time. And that's going to take place on August 18th at BISM. And so it's a really, really fun day.
Okay, and do people need to register for that, or do they just show up?
No, they do need to register. Okay. If you have any questions, you can definitely call 410-737-2600 and ask to speak to someone back in the rehabilitation department to get more information about registration.
Okay, and quickly before we have to finish up, Melissa, you wanted to give a shameless plug here as well, too. Everybody's giving shameless plugs here tonight. Go ahead.
Nikki and I were just talking about how the college prep program is where youth meets the core program here at Blind Industries. So if you are in high school, if you're thinking about college and you're blind and you're wondering how it's going to be possible and if you need help, come to our core program because we do have assistance and we can help you succeed in college.
Yes, yes.
Oh, great. And that's, once again, they can contact you at the phone number 410-737-2600 or through BISM.org.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Listen, it's been great talking with you tonight. I really appreciate it. Melissa, this great program you're working on with the youth. Keep up the great work, and I know that you always will. And you've got a great radio voice. You should think about doing podcasts or radio. Nikki, thank you so much as well for coming in.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work with the O&M and the adult program. Thomas, Thank you much, sir, for coming in and sharing what you do and for being so good at what you've been doing for the last 27 years.
All right, thank you for having me.
How long you been married now?
16 years, I think.
You better know that before you leave the studio.
Yeah, 16 years.
All right, thank you guys so much. Amanda, thank you so much for sitting in tonight.
Thank you.
Hope to have you back in again off
Absolutely.
and on to work with us. Looking forward to it. Everybody have a great week. Kind of hang in there. It's going to be another hot one, and we've got some great shows coming up for you this month as well. InsightOnDisability.com, got some great news up there online. Everybody have a great week, and we will see you with another great show next Sunday night.